Hello and welcome back to the show. My name's Stencil Artist Yan, and as always, I'm joined by Peephole Circus. Hello, Peephole Circus.
Hello.
During World War II, a Great Dane named Juliana was awarded the Blue Cross Medal, the first Blue Cross Medal, I believe, because she extinguished an incendiary bomb by urinating on it.
That's the first, isn't it?
I don't know how much of that was actually on purpose.
What was it? Did it look like a tree?
Well, it would have been sticking out the ground, I guess.
I don't know how to make of that. Lucky it wasn't a number 2. It could have set it off.
From a Great Dane as well. That'd been like the scene out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. How did they know that big lump of turd could have come from a little dinosaur?
I never thought about that. They did automatically assume it was from the Triceratops, didn't they?
It could have been one of the... Do you remember that one with the big gills? Could have been it.
It could have been that one. It could have been one of the brontosauruses.
You would have thought the dinosaurs would have come up with that trick, though, with setting off bombs, wouldn't you?
What, by pooing on them?
Yeah.
That's probably why they're extinct now, because they didn't think quick enough, like that Great Dane. During the First World War, when the dinosaurs were around, that's why they all got made extinct.
Yeah, send them over the top. Were the dinosaurs in the end of Blackadder, the 4th series? I think there was, wasn't it?
I think so. I think that's what they were fighting against, if I remember correctly. Wasn't that the whole Blackadder goes forth? It was
yeah.
Dinosaurs?
Fighting the Nazi dinosaurs.
Yeah. Hang on, wasn't that part of Wolfenstein? Didn't they have Nazi dinosaurs in Wolfenstein? The new one?
I don't know. I can barely remember the old one. How stupid were people during World War One, where only the dogs could do the bombs, and humans didn't even figure that out yet?
Well, they are a man's best friend. That's difficult to say. Maybe the dog was the only one around. Maybe the dog just blagged it, said there was a bomb, and there wasn't a bomb, and it was just after a medal.
Yeah, you know these dogs are like
fake news.
Yeah, I was thinking about themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on from dogs, would you like to hear a sad story about a pig?
All right.
You don't have to.
No, I like a good laugh.
Well, it does involve death. I know that's your favourite subject. In 1368, a pig was executed in France by hanging.
But good enough for him. If I was to execute the pig, apart from kicking it to death, I would hang it too.
Well, allegedly, this pig attacked a child who died later. The pig was arrested, kept in prison, then sent to court where it stood trial with a defence, somehow, was found guilty and then executed by hanging.
But at least it was fair.
It was fair. I'm glad they had a proper fair trial for the pig.
Yeah, they put him in a little orange jumpsuit and the shackles. Oh, maybe the Hannibal Lecter mask and wheel him in.
Oh, that would have been something.
So what was this pig doing in jail? Was he like banging his cap against the bars? Sorry.
Banging his snout against I'm saying railings now as well, against the bars.
Yeah, you filthy pigs. No.
Well, maybe he had a bit rough time in the prison.
That's true.
Because they're like, this pig's in here. And it's like, no, I am a pig.
If you were in jail with a pig, you'd have a little bite, wouldn't you?
You'd be concerned if that was in your cell. If they went, this is your new cellmate, you'd be like, I think I'm going crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm in the wrong place, Gav. This is an animal farm.
Comes in, like you say, orange jumpsuit. Wielding on one of those wheelbarrow things, proper Lecter mask on, strapped up, and you're like, that's a pig. And they're like, yeah, we know, it's a murderer. And you're like, well, why are you putting a murdering pig in with me? I was drunk and disorderly. I had a wee on a park bench. Well.
Pigs are close to humans, aren't they? I think genetically or something. So I think you can't try a pig as an adult. You got to wait till later. I don't know what is in pig years for. Makes them about 50, 18, I mean.
Yeah, I that is a question I did not think you were going to ask me. How do pig years correlate to human years?
Yeah. I like to know the details. Got to have the facts, especially in a cold case like this.
Well, that's why probably the defence lost. They probably had a relative of me as the defence, and they probably said, how old's this pig? And I went, I didn't think you were going to ask me that question. In a French accent, obviously, because it was in France. But
I forgot it was in France. That explains everything.
Well, you know what they're like over there.
Yeah, they like, yeah.
French things.
French things, just French stuff. Yeah, what are you doing today? Oh, we are going to hang a pig.
It's like in Mexico.
Yeah, you're going to hang a little pig.
Say hello to my little friend, Mr. Pig.
Yeah, Babe could have been such a better film, couldn't
Babe 3, Great Escape.
it? Babe goes to Paris.
Babe goes to Paris, and then it's a prison break edition. Release the prison break edition of Babe.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see with War Goose in there as well. This book is writing itself here. It really is. Babe in the prisoner of war camp with War Goose. I'm writing this down.
I bet you are.
This is going to be my Alan Moore-esque.
More
Alan
Alan
Evenmore. Yeah, more Alan Partridge. Alan Evenmore comic book. When pigs weren't being executed because it was... No, we're moving away from pigs. During the Great Depression, people made food out of food sacks because they were so poor.
Why food sack? If you're going to make it out of sacks, you could use any sacks.
Oh, yes. Well, that's not even that's the preamble fact. That's not even the real fact.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. People use flour bags, potato sacks, anything made out of burlap, which is Hessian to us. Because of this trend, food distributors started to make their sacks more colourful and more fashionable looking.
Eh? People were eating them, so they made them colourful so that people would make clothes out of them.
Yes.
Edible clothing.
Out of the bags.
So would you do? Are people eating the clothes then? So like they've gone. I'm dressed smart now. I don't have to eat.
Exactly. Well, it's a bit like you having a packet of crisps or chips, as they call them in America, and then going, I like this Walker's salt and vinegar green. I'm going to make a hat out of it.
yeah, that's weird. When was this?
The Great Depression, 1920, 1921, 22.
About 100 years ago. I've never seen photos of this. Where's the evidence?
Well, I do not have evidence to have. This is why I would have been a terrible solicitor for the pig.
Yeah,
Don't have any evidence either.
I was going to say, it sounds like a tall story a pig on death row would say.
Strangely, I do have another fact connected to the clothes made out of sacks. Tablecloths designed to be one big communal napkin.
What were?
Tablecloths.
Oh, so you just wipe your face in the tablecloth?
Yeah.
Oh no, that'd be awful. Why would you do that? Well, what if you really needed to blow your nose or something? Do you do that table trick where you yank on the tablecloth and leave everything there?
Yeah, you take more than you need, and then you just go to town on it. Wipe your face and hands all over it.
You just drag the food. Like if you see somebody with something they like, a couple of people down from you, just grab the tablecloth, yank it, and just start eating. Cheers.
Make your way through the whole table.
Pass the salt.
Just keep pulling on these tablecloths in every direction. Over somebody's like where they wipe their mouth and you're like, ugh, I'll leave that bit.
Maybe that's where the Japanese got the idea with the sushi bars. Yeah, in them places, the fish go around and you wipe your mouth on a flipper.
I never thought of that before. I know you like death.
Love it.
And I know you like cats.
Yeah.
Well, whilst in power, Pope Gregory IX declared that cats were to be associated with devil worship and had them exterminated.
Oh, no.
It doesn't sound good, does it? But cats got their revenge because the cats had all been killed, the rats population exploded, spreading the bubonic plague, aka the Black Death, that caused millions of people to die in the 1300s.
Well, that'll learn them. Serves them right. And to be fair, though, I do involve, I involve my cat in devil worshipping. He's the one who got me into it. So there is a truth to it.
Yeah, they say that cats dabble in the dark arts. Well, they don't teach that at art college, I find, the dark arts. I never found that class.
You didn't see the life models we had in our art college.
Were they cats?
Yep.
Giant cats and furries. People dressed as cats.
You know, I was going to say something, but I'm going to let that one go.
Well, you don't really... Furries is a very recent phenomenon. It's going completely off topic here, but That wasn't a thing when I was at college, when I was a young man, I have to say.
No, it wasn't. It might have been, but these people kept quiet about it. They had some kind of grace to them. These days, they're just out there being weird.
Yes, just doing stuff as I saw that thing. I won't say it on here because it may or may not be a legal case regarding somebody in Florida and their sister, and they didn't realise who was who because they were all in furry outfits.
Yeah.
But we're still clear of that.
Yeah, let's get back onto the cat slaughter. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Killing all the cats like that. I should imagine there was a lot of like underground cats as well, dodging the exterminations.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Demolition Man.
Oh, eating the rats down there at Rat Burger.
Rat burgers, yeah, exactly. Yeah, serves him right for dying. I think that was the evil curse that the cats must have put on him.
Well, if you kill all the cats and the rats, it's only logic that the rats will breed. And you're going to have 10 million rats to like one lone cat that's left.
Yeah, King Cat.
King Cat. I do know a fact about rats, but I'll save that one for another day because it's very confusing about King of Rats and what that actually means.
I know what it is.
Yeah, it's very graphic and you really need to see the image for it to work. Don't look it up on your work computer, anybody, because it'll probably scare somebody in the office. I'm going to move on from cat genocide. I had to double check this, and this did actually happen, but this seems to have been erased from most of history. In Boston, known for the Boston Tea Party, but it wasn't really a part. I'm going to get confused with that. But in Boston, they had something called the Boston Molasses Disaster in 1919.
All right, sounds intriguing.
So I actually had to look up what molasses is. They put it in sauce, in like barbecue sauce and HP sauce and ketchup even.
Yeah, like treacly stuff.
Yeah. So on January the 15th, 1919, a 90-foot wide cast iron tank filled to the brim with molasses exploded, spilling 2.5 million gallons of molasses into the streets of Boston. The brown liquid ran through the streets like a tsunami with 15-foot high waves.
Beautiful. That sounds great.
That sounds like something you'd probably want to see, doesn't it? Reaching speeds of 35 miles an hour. Sweet.
That sounds like a fun day.
Sounds like a hell of a thing. Imagine walking in and going, you never guess what I've seen.
You never guess what. Is it a whole tub of molasses burst and brown liquid everywhere? Terrible scene.
It demolished everything in its path, drowning horses, and eventually, I shouldn't laugh at this bit, eventually killing 21 people and injuring 150.
Why did that bit make you laugh?
I don't know. I've got a very morbid sense of humour, I guess. I'm hoping it was a nervous laugh. That must have been something to see, surely.
Yeah, that's another Black Death.
Yes, it is. Yes, it would have been. Imagine trying to clean that up.
That'd take ages. Be there all day.
Oh well, how would you even would you just leave it and let animals eat it? I don't know.
Get some cats. Cats eat it.
If only they hadn't butchered all the cats. Pope,
I know.
Gregory the Ninth. See, they're coming useful once again.
Yeah, who's laughing now?
Not those guys. Do you know what would have helped with the molasses cleaning up? A South African railway employee, which just so happened to have been a baboon.
A South African baboon?
Yep. South African Railway employed a baboon for 8 years of service.
Did they know it?
Yeah, he was very well known. He was there for 8 years. Then he retired.
Tickets.
Yep, he was collecting tickets. Never made a single mistake. It says here as a little extra bit on the end.
Yeah, I bet. Who's going to argue with the baboon? You missed the booth. He's going to rip you to shreds. You're not going to argue with it. How much did you make today?
At least it goes back to the thing about the rhesus monkey's female bottoms that we found out about.
Yeah,
so
you'd stare at the baboons, bud, because they got pretty colours on it, not just brown.
And they're huge as well, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Not just the bottom, the whole creature.
I like big butts.
Yeah, baboon butts, and you cannot lie. I want to know what happened when he wanted to drive the train, and they were like, "Look, You just collect the tickets.
Yeah, just create every time he just freaks out and he does what he wants. And you just let him do it. And you could put him in front of a train. He thinks he's steering it. It's like giving a younger brother a controller that isn't plugged in or something. And you're playing against the AI. You put him on there. The train doesn't move with like a steering wheel, does it?
No, it's got levers, isn't it? Because they don't go left and right, they just go backwards and forwards. Well, they're meant to. If they start going left and right, you've probably got a problem.
Sideways tracks on the train would be pretty fun, wouldn't they? They'd be really wide. Imagine you'd have to wait for ages on a crossing.
So why did they make the railway so wide but so thin at the same time? These trains are like only 5 feet long. So yeah, you've got in South Africa they had a baboon for 8 years. I'm assuming they let him retire, let him take early retirement. I'm guessing.
Probably give him a little clock.
Okay, we'll give you a big one. Okay, you can have that big one hanging in the station. There you go.
He doesn't care. He's too busy drawing on the walls with excrement.
Yeah. Well, that's the new timetable sorted out then by Jeffrey the baboon. I don't know why I called him Jeffrey. I just feel like that would be his chosen human name.
Seems about right.
Yeah, Big Jeff. Big Jeff's collecting the tickets again. He's annoying the customers. You wouldn't get many drunks giving aggro, though, would you? No,
everybody sits down quietly.
Nobody moves at all. They just sit there like, don't pick me, don't pick me. Yes, the monkey who's on the train. Yes. So that's all we've got for this episode. Thanks very much for listening. Anything else to say, people?
Good night.
Good night. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell.